Greetings, folks, and welcome to the channel. I am your host, Coco Smooth. And as you can see in today's segment of 112 scale military action figure takes, this is my Valaverse Action Force haul of December 11th, 2023. Now, I didn't get all of this in December 11th, 2023, but enough came in today with the combination of stuff that I've gotten recently, like within the week, or that I had to share it finally, get it out of my system. Um, man, I tell you, I definitely sold a bunch of stuff that I would never. I'm normally a hoarder, but in order to catch up, I had to sell a bunch of stuff that I was really attached to. But I realized that some of the things that I was attached to weren't getting used. They were just kind of sitting there. And while I liked them, I really wanted to get cracking on this, and money and everything's just so expensive. So I had to let go of stuff. Man, if OnlyFans was a good option for me, I would do it. Just kidding, I would not. But for these figures, maybe. Just kidding. Anyways, but as you can see, yeah, I've gotten some stuff, but I wanted to start off with that kind of precursor, because as a collector, my goodness, I tell you, there are many times, even as a Gen Y guy, Gen Y being the guy in between Gen X and the millennials, right? While I can relate to Gen X, I can also relate to the millennials. I'm just in that cusp, you know, that between 78 to 70, to 78 to 80s. That's that small cusp of people who were born and raised, analog, but you know grew into adulthood digital. So yeah, that's my generation, that the one that ties both Gen X and millennials together, that in betweener, Gen Y. Yeah. Reason I'm bringing that up is, just like from both sides or any side, I too struggle with finances, and you know all the things that come with collecting. Is this something a man should still be doing? Am I too attached to things? Is this deep programming from my childhood, from advertisement working on me? All of those things that you have, I dig deep in my soul trying to figure out, was this advertising from back in the day genius, so genius that it's, uh, put me in, absolute fascination of things that I've never outgrown, like GI Joes, He-Man, Transformers, just the things that I grew up with. I'm still absolutely fascinated for that. Or has corporations figured out the nostalgia addiction? Am I addicted to nostalgia? Is that why I collect Funko Pops? That have things to do with when I was younger and stuff. These are the things that I mull over. The things that I have crisis with myself upon self-reflection. What is this hobby? What's going on? And Valaverse does not quite fit that bill. I am not attached to any of those things because there were nothing like this in my past. The G.I. Joe Classified, yes, but this, not quite much, except for maybe, the Steel Brigades. The Steel Brigade, kind of remind me a little bit of the Steel Corps, you know what I'm saying? Or what they call the Hasbro calls the Steel Corps now, because they have to. This is the closest thing, But yeah, so either way, those are just things that, so am I more of a toy addict, or am I a nostalgia addict? I think at first I was a nostalgia addict, because I definitely picked up only Masters of the Universe heavily. And I'm going to do videos on my classics line. You're going to see, if you guys want to follow that, I'm going to definitely have a playlist of every single classics Masters of the Universe figure that I've ever, picked up. But right now, I know I'm focused specifically with the Valaverse stuff. I know I'm going on a tangent, folks, but I'm hoping that you guys are chiming in, understanding more than just the haul, but the person behind the haul, trying to understand the mindset of the collector, right? Why do I do this? Why is it other than because they look dope, you know? Because there's people who would agree that they look dope, but would never spend money on this. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd get that for my kid. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something my kid might like. But yeah, not me. I was ever since I was a kid, I knew I was in trouble growing up because I was still looking at these things in high school. I never quite really outgrew it. Like I would still sneak in the toy section in high school when, it wasn't really cool to be in my time. You had to be gangster or you'll get your ass beat. That's how it was during my time. Now the culture was you got to be gangster. You couldn't really be nerd. Nerdy things was something that happened more recently, right? That's a that's a recent thing. It wasn't cool to be a nerd or a geek back then at all. It was not accepted, you know. So while I had to look gangster, believe me when I say I was nothing but geek inside. While everybody was trying to be hard, and even when I was hanging out with knuckleheads, all I could think about is how would Picard and Klingons handle the situation. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, all right, well, let's get to the haul, folks. I know 6 minute tirade of just me talking about stuff. Anyhow, oh no, wait, why is there no figure? Because I was just so giddy to get my Action Force Brigade, Steel Brigade army, started that I pulled them out. Now, what makes this special, even though I already did a Steel Brigade review, is that I picked up the first gen one in this case. I had to get the first gen one. Why? Why? Because it came with this patch. Other than just to build the Army of Steel Brigade troop builder set, I really wanted this patch. I was so sad when I learned that the other one, the newer ones didn't have this patch. So I was like, oh, I want it. And so somebody gave me a great deal on this, and I was like, yes, thank you. I want the patch, and I'm happy that I can't express enough how happy I am with just having a Steel Brigade army. I know I missed out on the BBTS Night Ops one at some point. I'm going to end up having to pay the only price fans get this or something. Your boy's going to pay it at some point. But at the moment, I can't. Obviously, it's in the middle of the holiday season, and there's a lot of things that are just kind of expensive. I don't celebrate the holidays. However, things are still expensive around this time. And yeah, things that are needed to be paid need to be paid. Like I was the dummy who paid for certain bills at this time, like Disney Plus for the year, and now it's going to come to fruition. I'm thinking about canceling, but either way, and PlayStation Plus, is that time of the month, and they for the yearly thing, and PlayStation Plus is expensive. Y'all get the picture. All of these things that I pay annually just happen to come at this time because back in the day they would do Black Friday sales or Christmas sales to trick you into to subscribing for cheap, right? So yeah, so your boy has to be very careful with money in addition to just having money to make sure that I have to help people celebrate. Next up, the Swarm Trooper. I am waiting for the gear set to come in. Once I do, I'm going to open this bad boy up and I'm going to do a review. It's going to be great, guys. Oh my gosh, the next one is probably the one that I'm the most happy about. The Garrison Cavalry. Garrett, I can't pronounce Garrison Cavalry. Um, yeah, this thing looks so good. I love these colors. It's just what I do. I'm not going to be opening any of these. This is just me sharing my haul. I'm going to do individual reviews for these, and you guys will see. You follow me and go to the channel. This is what I do, right? But I'm just sharing my haul, my elation, my thoughts. But yeah, here we go. If I remember wanting to do this channel in the first place to begin with the purpose of sometime in the future, since I have no progeny, this is my only legacy. The things that I like, I share. the thoughts of somebody who is my age sharing it for the world to see, talking about the mindset of, the things that I liked and why I like them, an explanation of things if I can. It's all I got. No kids, no nothing. So in the future, if my channel is still around, assuming that that I pass away, that somebody will look back and go, oh, okay, well, this is what a Filipino from back in a Filipino American from back in who was born in the 1970s, late 70s, early 80s, the mindset of what they were doing, things that they liked. How many of them, what's the census on my people being like this? I don't know, but I do know that Laruan ni Obi-Wan is one of the few Filipino YouTubers that I know that share his thoughts on stuff, and he's straight from the Philippines. I imagine his accent gives it all away. I love his channel, because it makes me feel better knowing that I ain't the only one, out there putting myself out there. But yeah, I can't wait to do the video for this. Next up, Eclipse. Before I get this, before I do the video on this, I'm thinking about waiting to getting her upgrade kits first, so I could do both this and the upgrade kits together. You know, but yeah, this is a great looking fig. I have to admit, I think I'm more impressed with these on just aesthetic alone than I am with anything that GI Joe Classified has done with females before. And don't get me wrong, I'm completely in love with my nostalgic babes like Lady J, Scarlet, and Covergirl, and the Baroness. Those are the baddies I've always liked when I was a kid growing up. And as I get older, I just remember how cool they were, and aesthetics and everything. However, they did make them short, and while it is kind of on the realistic side that they're short, I kind of imagine that they were a little bit on the taller side, or at least tall. Not so short. They kind of made them on the short and on the short side, that I'm just kind of scratching my head a little bit. Right. From my understanding, these figs are not that short. So yeah, that's why I'm in love with what Action Force is doing with the females. Because they're not that short. And yeah, this is the crown jewel of my collection at the moment when it comes to the female characters. Pandora, she's hard to get at the moment. I'm sure they'll probably reissue her, and there was a chase of some kind out there, one in every however many, with bloody gear, bloody version, bloody head, blood, all that other stuff going on. I'm quite satisfied with this, and if I ever ended up with one, cool. I definitely heard of the Warpath Eclipse. I'm thinking about picking it up, but I want to do it when when Action Force Series 4 comes out. I'll probably buy it all at one time. I had to sell a bunch of stuff I had to say goodbye to a whole bunch of different kind of collections to make what I got currently happen. And it was hard to let go. So hard. But it had to be done because I was running out of space. I don't have the money, and the only way I can make it happen to share with y'all is to do that. And here we go. Last but not least is Kill Switch. I saw her expansion pack, her gear pack specifically for her, and I was like, oh, I need to get it. I need to get her first so that I can get the gear pack for her and make magic happen, because it looks really good. I like it. But yeah, I'll be doing reviews of these figures individually soon enough. I'm happy that you guys were able to see what I've gotten so far. Oh, but I'm not done. I do have one last very awesome thing to show you guys. The PowerCon 2023 exclusive Horde Swarm. I'm going to be doing a video on that too, but I wanted to do the Swarm Trooper video first, before I did this. But you guys know it's coming. I'm going to be doing my own review on this. And yeah, one of my boys helped me make my collections go. Was able to help me flip some of my collections to make money to buy some of the stuff that I needed to get like the his tank and of course presents. You know, it's just expected of me. Um, yeah. So what I did was like to reward him. I said, um, I'll buy one of your things since you helped me make things happen. Really didn't have the money at the time, but because he helped me make money, it's only I felt it was only right to buy from him for helping me out. So yeah, that's all I got as far as the Valaverse stuff. There may be more coming in the mail soon. I did order stuff from AliExpress a couple weeks back, just waiting for them to show up so that I can finally do a good video on this. Mostly the kit for this. I should have asked more in the community, but I'm one of those people who have a hard time reaching out asking for help. It's just not me. As a man, you just kind of learn to find a way, and do things on your own. But I'm quickly learning as I've actually talked to my friends about the stuff that I bought. They're like, you could have saved yourself some money if you did this, 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 and this. And at the time, I was like, uh, I'm just I'm just trying to get whatever I can see, done on my own. And I feel like they could have definitely, they wanted to help and I should have given them a chance to help. So now these days I'm giving my friends a chance to help me. So, to help get my stuff within reasonable prices and I'm not getting killed on the secondary market, prices for certain things. So in this case, these were definitely, um, I got a good price, very good price for Pandora, Garrison Cavalry. Actually, most of these I did get pretty good price, like within retail price of original. When I'm seeing secondary market go, wow, all over the place with these things going for much higher. So, all right, folks, this is all I got for this segment of the Valaverse Action Force Haul of December 11th, 2023. I am your host, Coco Smooth, the Casual Collector. And until next video, folks, ciao.